Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Having Juice with OJ, where I'm here today with my co-host, Germ. What's up, Germ?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
And we are right back after 1 week, the first week of March Madness. It was an insane weekend. How'd you feel about it, Germ?
It was a fun weekend. It was highlighted with us having a little watch party at a Patty Wax, a local bar here in Philly.
Shout out them on South Street.
They were great. They were hospitable. We had a lot of the boys pop out, and it was a great time. We saw some great games, and I'm excited for the Sweet 16 and more.
Yeah, I'm excited. What do you think your favorite game to watch was this past weekend?
It was, without a doubt, it had to have been Texas A&M in Houston. That Sunday night overtime banger. It was an amazing game to watch. We saw the final score was 195. It went into overtime. Texas A&M, they were unbelievable down the stretch. They made a crazy 13-point run comeback with like 30 seconds left. This guy, Anderson Garcia, he hit that bang three to send it into overtime, and I was just jumping up on my couch. It was insane. Wade Taylor, he did kind of sell it in overtime, taking that half-court shot with like 20 seconds left on the shot clock. But nonetheless, they were a team that had a lot of grit, a lot of fight. They were very well coached. And for Houston, like they had three of their top guys foul out. So and they still were able to come away. So it just shows how deep and how gritty that team is. And they're making a strong push for that national championship this year.
Yeah, I'm definitely very scared of them because right now in my bracket, the person above me has Houston, and right below I have Illinois. And it's scary right now. Houston came out strong. Texas A&M is not a bad team for the people that are like, oh, like why was it so close? All this stuff, like the other teams are blowing each other out of the water, like all that stuff. I did not think that mattered at all. This was a hard fought game. I mean, Texas A&M coming back that clutch at the end is just insane. Nobody could have predicted that. And then Emmanuel Sharp is just dog 30-point game. I mean, you cannot be mad at that. And another game that I wanted to highlight was the Yale-Auburn game. I mean, who would have thought that Yale could have taken down Auburn when everybody's like, oh, it's the best conference. Oh, Auburn's so good. How do we feel about that matchup?
The financial advisors came through for for those who bet on them, which I don't think it was money. But, yeah, seeing Auburn go down, especially after what they were in the SEC championship game, they had a very good season. They're a deep team. They come from the SEC, and to lose in that fashion to a Yale team, which all the credit to Yale, they played out of their minds. You know, kudos to them. But Auburn
they mathematically beat them right there. They just had the odds. They had the statistics.
They folded.
And now we're going to be going into the Sweet 16 this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And by the time this comes out, we'll probably already be 1 day in. So you'll correct us if we're wrong about the Thursday games. But we've got UConn versus San Diego State to start. How do we feel about that matchup? Who's winning it?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the rematch
Of last year?
of the?
Or
Didn't San Diego State make the national championship game last year?
last year?
Yeah,
I don't
the
think so.
Aztecs.
Or
Final Four, one of the two.
They were Final Four, I
One
think.
of the two.
Final Four.
One of the two. I think they did play each other last year though, and
They did. They did play each other last year.
yeah. So I mean, I think it's gonna be the exact same result. This UConn team is they're playing on a different level right now from everybody else. They're looking very scary. They're looking like they could go in probably into the play-in tournament and play pretty good right now. So. I'm kind of taking UConn and not looking back. I think their real test might be this game, but I don't think it might come until next round. But San Diego State, don't count them out. They're probably hungry, very hungry against this UConn team. So I'm leaning UConn.
Yeah, I think UConn definitely could blow them out the water, like they did against Northwestern. But I'm going to go the opposite of you, and I think I'm going to take the points with San Diego State. I think that they're going to keep it a close game. I think they could blow them out early, and then I think San Diego State will bring themselves back into the game as of late, just like it just kind of happened with Texas A&M Houston. I think it'll be a similar type game where they come back. Maybe not as large of a lead that like gets cut, but I'm pretty confident that they can make it work. I mean, yes, UConn is looking scary. Their coach was pissed off when they were up like 20-something points or something like that at halftime. He was like, oh, we were doing bad down the stretch. Like, I was like, you just simply weren't my guy.
Yeah, they both, in that Northwestern game, they weren't both teams weren't shooting that well. So
Yeah.
I mean, if San Diego State can not let a large lead grow for UConn and stay in there with them and shoot the ball well, then they have a puncher's chance. You always have a puncher's chance.
Moving on, you got Illinois versus Iowa State. I was not high on Iowa State. I saw them losing in round of 64. But here we are right now. And as you know, Illinois is my pick as I have them also winning. So I kind of got to ride with my guys, the Illinois. And, yeah, that's my pick. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going the opposite as you. I've kind of liked this Iowa State team. I've picked them to come this far, and I picked them to beat Illinois in this round. They're a team that's, in that Washington State game, it was a very gritty game. Shots weren't really falling for them, but they kind of found a way, and then they were generating turnovers and making fast break plays. So I just feel like Iowa State can just kind of outgun Illinois, and I feel like Illinois is going to try to slow the game down.
Yeah, we'll see. Terrence Shannon Jr. just got to do his thing. I mean, Illinois hasn't made it this far, I believe, since 2000 or something like that. So this is a pretty big deal for them. And I see them, even though they're a kind of a lower seed, I see them as a Cinderella. You know what I mean?
I mean, if they're able to break through this round, I can see that maybe. But, I feel like it's kind of expected for them to make it here because based off of their seeding,
based off the seeding, yeah, but they haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't ever. So
Big Ten, Big Ten basketball as a whole has just been down.
Yeah, it's been iffy. Moving on from them, we got UNC Alabama. This game is weird, man. This is a 50-50 game to me.
I'm kind of just looking UNC and not even turning back.
Really?
Yeah.
You think they have what it takes?
Alabama, that Alabama Grand Canyon game though, that was a dogfight. Honestly, if it wasn't for that Houston Texas A&M game, the way that it went, I probably would have said that Grand Canyon Alabama was the best game of that round. However, it was probably some of the worst basketball I've watched. They were fighting it out. It was a complete dogfight for 40 minutes, but it wasn't great basketball, and I think UNC can punish a lot of the mistakes that Alabama's going to make.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go the opposite. I'm taking Alabama. I like their conference the most. I think that they're a gritty, hard team. They have a great offense, and they run very well on defense. They stay right on their toes. So I'm going Bama for that, ladies and gentlemen.
That boy Mark Sears is a bucket, though.
He's a bucket.
But it's I feel like UNC has the tools to handle them, and I don't know if Alabama can hang with them down low. I don't know if they got anybody that could check Mondo.
Yeah, I don't think down low really matters as much in this type of tournament. I'm going shooting and free throws. That's what I think will take the cake. And, who knows? Maybe we're right. Maybe we're wrong. One of us is. Moving on, we got Clemson versus Arizona. I mean, I didn't even like Clemson in this tournament. I think that they're an iffy team. I mean, they had a rough 2 weeks before they started, and then before they started the tournament, they were getting blown out, destroyed, and then all of a sudden they came in and win in the round of 64. I was very confused. I did not see that coming, but I guess they were playing good ball before then.
Yeah, with Clemson, you talk about Cinderella stories, and I can kind of see that with this team. They were a team that wasn't playing too hot. They were a team that was being picked to be upset. Everybody had, I believe it was New Mexico State that they played in the first round.
Yes.
And now they're here. They're in the Sweet 16 playing against an Arizona team that's led by Caleb Love and them. And as much as I want to see a matchup between UNC and Arizona for personal reasons, I can see Clemson just continuing to go on this run behind their guys. I believe PJ Hall is on that team. He's one of their leaders. And they've just been rallying behind their guy, and they've been playing great down the stretch and holding teams off. So I can see this going either way. I think I'm going to lean Clemson.
You're leaning Clemson? I'm going to lean Arizona, specifically only for my bracket. I mean, do I agree with Jerem on this? Kind of. But Arizona, I think they get it done. They're a very tough team. They play hard. Clemson, they can lose on any given night. So I'm going to stick with my guns, and I'm going to go Arizona. Moving on, we've got the matchup. This is my favorite matchup, I think. We've got Houston-Duke. I think this is going to be my favorite game to watch, guys. and I don't know how to lean. I mean, I'm going to have to stick with my guns. Before March Madness even started, I said there's 2 teams that will win the national championship, UConn or Houston. So I'm going to stick with my boys over there at Houston. And that's my pick. I'm not even going to second guess it.
You know what? I kind of like this little back and forth. I mean, you are having right now. I'm gonna go with Duke. I'm gonna go with the Blue Devils right now. They're playing good. They're playing good. They're playing hot. They came out. What's the kid's name? I think it's Jaden something. But he had like a 30-point game last round, and they're just looking strong. They're looking tough. They're looking hard to break right now. Like Filipkowski, he's doing whatever. But it's like he can turn it up at any given moment.
He can turn it up.
And if he turns it up around the guys that are also there, it's gonna be a hard battle.
Yeah,
that's for sure. It's gonna be a hard battle.
I'm just definitely a big fan of LJ Cryer. I think he's a bucket. So
he's got a lot to prove after fouling out too. He was mad about that. He was really mad,
very mad about that. So I think he'll come back this game and he'll put the Dukes to rest. I also just don't like Duke.
Yeah, I know. You know I mean, me too. Like I'm UNC over Duke, but I just like, I don't know. Them boys are kind of cold. I can't hate on that. Jared McCain was his name.
Oh yeah,
he just had that.
I was spacing the TikTok phenomenon with 2.4 million followers on TikTok. They're saying that on Live Game. You've got 60-year-old commentators talking about this guy's TikTok page. And the fact that he paints his nails and he's all that. I actually have I want to know your opinion on that. A lot of people are like, oh, this guy can't give me buckets. Like he wears fingernail paint. He does TikTok dances. How do we feel about that?
I mean, that's the same. Exit Jared McCain, insert Caleb Williams. It's like they do the same thing.
Yeah.
But like, are you questioning his ability? Like he's shown he's shown you on the field what he could do.
Yeah.
And this guy has just shown you during March Madness that he could put up a 30-burger.
I'm almost positive he shot like 70% from 3. It was some crazy.
He was very efficient. I'm pretty sure I saw that as well. But yeah, like I'm not gonna take anything away from the guy. Like if that's what you want to do with your own time, like I don't care. Like you're a bucket. You're doing what you gotta do on the court. You're there for your teammates and you're winning. So.
For everyone wondering, too, he has not posted a TikTok since he started March Madness tournament, so that's not affecting his ability. He's locked in, this guy.
And he went to class on Monday.
Yeah, and he went to class on Monday, so what a good student he is. Moving on, I got both these wrong in my bracket. I had Kentucky and Colorado sitting here, and I was feeling confident. I mean, Kentucky going out early was just a blow-up. How do we feel about that?
Well, Jay Wright said it best. It's the era of having all these 5-star freshmen come in and going all the way to the Final Four, winning championships. Like that era is over. You're seeing teams have guys that have the average age of like 23, 24 now, or like 20, like high 22.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like these guys that have experience, they're growing up. Their bodies are more mature. These are grown men that are playing in college basketball now. So
versus
it's like
18-year-olds.
Versus 18-year-olds that don't have the experience, that don't have the chemistry, that don't know the system, that haven't been in the moment. Because college, like high school basketball to college basketball is, in my opinion, a much bigger jump than college to the NBA. And for those kids to think that they could just come in and just rock everything, some of them can. Some of them do come in as true freshmen and are able to do, just win games.
Great things.
But it's not going to happen in March anymore. And, that Oakland-Kentucky game was a prime example of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess you're kind of right with that. But we were wrong. Well, I was wrong.
I was
Kentucky,
wrong, too.
Colorado.
I picked Kentucky, too.
So I mean, we're both wrong. We're losers. Now we've got NC State versus Marquette. Marquette's kind of just on this good run, man. Like, I'm a fan of what they've been doing. I did not fully see it happening. I saw them getting to the second round, like round of 32. But I really thought that they weren't that strong of a 2 seed. How do we feel about Marquette, Jerm?
I felt very strong about them last year, and I believe the year before that too. I mean, the Big East in general, they're very underrated when it comes to basketball. All 3 of their teams are still in. They're undefeated. They're 6-0 in the tournament right now between UConn, Creighton, and Marquette, and it just goes to show like that's a conference of true ballers. in this game though against NC State. NC State's a team that I've been raving about them ever since they won that ACC tournament, and I've had them on this deep run. Like if you look at all like my bracket, I have them here in the spot. Like I have them winning this game. It wasn't against Marquette, but I have them winning this game. Like they're a team that's been rallying behind their big man, DJ Burns. Vending machine Burns. Did you hear that? He does he sells vending does the vending machine stuff.
Does the side vending machines.
Yeah, but it's like their team. They're cooking up. They're battling. They're like you can see for like 6 minutes of like the first half they'll do so terrible and they won't have a 3-point shot fall in, or they'll have like 3 tip-in baskets that won't even fall back in. But it's like they just keep fighting and then they generate turnovers and then they rally behind their guys and then they'll have. Names are blanking on me right now because I'm learning so many names throughout this tournament that it's just like I can't I see the faces and I know the numbers, but it's like number 16 his back DJ Burns' backup will come in and he'll just start putting in crazy work and then the team will just start rallying and then everybody will come back in and play their part. Like they know what their part is, they know their role and they play it very well. So and that's what you need in March. You just need everybody to elevate themselves, and that's what this team's been doing.
So NC State's your pick, huh?
Oh yeah,
they're your pick. Well. We just keep going back and forth, man, because I got Marquette. I mean, so far, just with Marquette, you've got Cam Jones. I mean, I think he's an absolute bucket. He's 17 points per game. I mean, 6'5" guard. Like, I like the height on him. I think he can get it done wherever on the floor. He spaces it out a lot because people are looking at him. I just think Marquette is going to continue this run. I do not think NC State, even though the guy sells refrigerators, I don't think that's going to push him past. So that's going to be my pick, and I cannot wait to come back on this video and see which one of us was more right.
And we also can't forget too about DJ Horn, like their leading guard. He's been kind of banged up during the tournament. Like his ankle hasn't been 100%. He had a down game against Oakland, only scoring. He had 11 and 6, but like bro, I wouldn't be surprised if he took these past couple of days, he got himself right, and he just comes out and has a game. So
I can see what you're talking about, but I'm excited to prove you wrong.
Yeah, right. We'll see. Let's go Wolfpack.
Ooh, moving on. You've got Purdue versus Gonzaga. This is also a game I'm very excited for. I am somebody who hates Zach Edey. I think he's the Bojan Bogdanovic, or my.
Boban Marjanovic.
Boban, yeah, I can't speak. There's so many different versions of that name.
Right.
But I feel like he's the Boban of the league. That's going to happen in the NBA for him. I do not think he's going to translate well. I think he cannot move his feet well, and I will say that. That's my early prediction for what's going to happen to Zach Edey when he goes to the league. I don't think he can move enough. I don't think he's going to be able to run that floor. But now we're looking at this game, and I'm going Zags all the way. I mean, yes, they're not as strong as they've been, and they're not like everybody thinks that they can't really do as much and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, I'm going to take Graham Mike taking this game away for them, and Purdue's not going to do anything. That's my pick.
Damn, he hating on Baby Zubats right now, but
Baby Zubats is crazy.
It's also like Purdue's also a team that I don't trust. I've never trusted Purdue, and Gonzaga's. They've been doing their thing. They held off against, who was it? I think they play McNeese. They're the ones that played McNeese or whatever. They were in that little bracket, and they've held on. They've done well. I feel like we haven't really heard much rumbling around Gonzaga as much this year as one usually would, especially like from the past couple of years when they had Chet and Suggs and that old man Timmy. But
old man Timmy.
Yeah, this is a game I really. Like the betting line's not even out right now. Like there's no spread, there's no total. Like this is one that's just so weird to me. My gut is telling me Gonzaga, so I'm gonna lean with my gut. I'm gonna go Gonzaga. I think this is the one that me and you both can agree on.
This is the first one.
So we're probably both gonna lose.
Yeah,
that's probably how it goes.
That's 100% what's gonna happen actually.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna lean Gonzaga. Like I said, not much rumblings about them this year. I personally haven't watched them much. I think I tuned into their game last round a little bit, but they were smacking them, so kind of just turned it off. But
all right,
let's go Zags.
The first one that we agree on is the second to last one, the Zags. Moving on, you've got Creighton, Tennessee. This is a game also. I mean, I feel like I keep saying this, but this is also a game I'm excited to watch. I mean, I did not see the Volunteers going this far. I definitely had Texas beating them. I definitely did. Tennessee's just a weird team to me. I mean, they lost to Mississippi State.
Yeah, they did. I mean, but we did see that Mississippi State had that freshman that I feel like if I go back and I probably
Hubbard.
look at that game, Josh Hubbard probably took over in that game.
I mean, he didn't for the first half. In the second half, he started cooking. But he's a second half player. Like, he did not do good in the first half at all.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it was in Michigan State game.
Yeah,
too.
it's how it was. Yeah,
But yeah, that's. I mean, shit. You can
It
lose.
just happens,
I mean,
I guess.
You could lose to anybody.
Yeah,
in
I
any
guess-
given
I
day,
guess.
you feel me? Like, that's just the game. But they got that boy Dalton Kincaid, whatever, however you say his last name. That boy is a bucket, though. I'm gonna say that much. And he's been showing how badly he wants to win in this tournament.
he does
And
have a weirdly spelled name.
It is. It's weird, bro. It looks like night, but with an E.
That's a good way of
No,
putting it.
no
That's
bullshit.
facts.
But Creighton too, man. I got a gripe to pick with Creighton, man. We was down.
Why?
No. So listen, UNC against Michigan State, they covered. I had them. Iowa State versus Washington State, they covered. I had them. NC State was I got them at 7.5 against Oakland. That game went into overtime. It was a wild game. The Kohler, whatever, Steph Curry with the big forehead.
Yeah,
he was going
literally.
crazy, bro. Like he was bugging, bro. That was getting me
Steph
so
Curry with the
mad, bro.
big
Like I was in
forehead,
the
crazy.
I was in the car driving, and I just had the score up, and I just kept refreshing the score, and at a point, NC State had gotten up. They were up 9, or whatever. They were up 8 or 9, but they were in the point where they were covering, with like 10 seconds left. What happens? They score, and NC State wins by 7, not 7.5. And I'm like, damn. So I'm like, all right, bet. Let's go with Oregon. Oregon's gonna go crazy. Kuzma about to have another 30-point game, which I believe he did. He was going insane, and Nafali Dante was putting in work too. But Creighton, man, it's just like every time you think they were out, they would just come back and yank a 3. Jakob. Every time, bro. I'm just like, damn, man. They just go on a crazy run. That game goes into overtime too. Oregon ends up selling. I'm like, so close. So
for this game,
I'm picking Tennessee.
this guy, bro. The Volunteers are not winning. No Volunteers winning in this.
Well,
chart.
actually, not. If I'm being smart, I think Creighton actually got it, bro. Like they're. What's that boy's name? That tall dude. No, what's his name? I don't even know his name. Is it Kalkbrenner? No, it's not
Which one are you
Kalkbrenner.
talking about?
He's like 7.
Oh yeah.
He's like 7 foot tall.
Yeah,
He's like one of the top prospects in the draft.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think Tennessee got anything to hold him. He's gonna eat all night.
He's going to eat.
Yeah, he's gonna eat all night.
Yeah, so I am also on Creighton. I mean, like I said, Tennessee's a no one to me. I mean, yeah, like you said, you can lose at any given night, but Creighton will be my final pick for the Sweet 16. Is that yours for sure? Locking it in?
I'll lock it in, but I wouldn't be surprised if that boy Dalton had like a 30 burger.
You heard it here first. 30 burger coming in for Dalton. All right, so we're going to switch gears a little bit off of college ball, and this is the second half of the portion of what we're going to be talking about, which is baseball. We are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited for this season. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen because it's been absolutely insane. One thing we got to talk about is the biggest news going on right now with your Los Angeles Dodgers. How do we feel about Shohei Ohtani, boy?
Yeah. Some pretty crazy shit's been coming out.
Yeah, some crazy.
So I took stuff from an ESPN article because that's just like probably the most, not well-rounded, but it was just like one of the first ones that I saw this morning. And, well, to put everything into perspective, Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, Ippei Mizuhara, was fired amidst a gambling scandal and was accused by Ohtani of stealing $4.5 million from the Dodgers to pay off Mizuhara's gambling debt to a sportsbook. There was a quote that I have written by Tim Cohn, ESPN senior writer, that said, "It's difficult to imagine Ohtani without Mizuhara. Ohtani appears somehow diminished without his ever-present subordinate. smaller, less imposing, as if he needed Mizuhara's constant presence to assume his full stature. There was a certain choreography involved in getting it just right. Mizuhara almost always followed about 4 steps behind Otani, almost always wearing Otani's backpack and carrying Otani's water bottle, as if he needed to remain close enough to ward off any intrusion, but far enough away to allow the great man's aura to breathe.
See, like, I don't buy any of this shit. Like, when I'm saying, like, I also saw something that said that Shohei Ohtani's been working and going harder in the practice facilities since he's been gone, because maybe he actually has this relief off his shoulders of this dude who's dragging him down because he's gambling too much. I mean, like, think about it. How would this man get a $4.5 million credit from a bookie? Why do you think somebody would give it to him? Because he probably, somehow, Shohei was probably wrapped in his bullshit. You know what I mean?
Only Otani has this interpreter in the league who also works as a trainer, as a coach, as a valet, a bellman, a translator, and as well as his best friend. So
did you also hear that he lied that he went to Harvard?
Yeah.
This guy also lied. I think, what team did he say he worked for? Was it the Royals? I'm spacing on the team.
One of those mid.
One of those mid tiers. He said that he worked for them and he didn't. Yeah. And he didn't work for them. He didn't go to Harvard. He didn't do all this stuff. No, he's a gambling addict.
And Mizuhara seemed to adopt the story only after telling ESPN that Otani authorized and physically connected the payments that would get Mizuhara out of the hole.
I mean, that definitely is what happened. This guy probably got given a line of credit because he was the interpreter and best friend of Shohei, that the person gave it to him, knowing that if he went down, his best friend Shohei was going to have to take out his own money to pay for it.
Who just had 700, who just got that much money with. But now it's also like, too, like the highest paid athlete in the history of North American sports is on bank transfers totaling millions sent from his account to Matthew Boyer, a Southern California bookmaker who's under federal investigation. It's like that's no matter what happens, that's always gonna be on record. Yeah, like Shohei, a man of this stature, of his stature, was sending millions to a Dijon.
Literally, it just doesn't look good. Do I think Shohei was the one doing it? No,
I don't think so. But I think
no. Do I think that he allowed it? Do I think that he got played, that he got manipulated into like being a part of it? Yes. So I do think that he is also in the wrong for just allowing this guy who he's probably already known, if he's really that close to him and is 4 steps behind him at all times, he knows about his addiction to gambling and his issue of betting and all that stuff. So like, he allowed this guy and like made it a known thing that he had to have him on whatever team he signed to. That like, why did he have to have this guy?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it kind of just seems like it's sort of like Shohei's nature, kind of like he's a very soft-spoken person. And I feel like Mizuhara is somebody who was always around him and found a way to leech onto him. And we see this, like, not this specific example, but we see those kinds of instances where people find a way to leech onto others or find a way to take advantage to them for their own personal gain. And however that may have been done, whether it was taking advantage of the relationship that they've had for a long time or extorting him or whatever. Yeah, I feel like Ohtani was taken advantage of, and he probably was aware, and he probably was in a difficult predicament to think like, oh, what should I do? Like, this guy's done so much for me, but at the same time, he's doing so much bullshit. And it's like, it's hard to weigh that out sometimes. But now that everything's kind of coming to light, and we even heard on WIP that he's been more, open to being around his teammates and being more vocal and stuff like that.
Which is what he needs to do. He needs to grow up. Yeah, you're the best player in baseball, and you're that soft spoken. Grow up, bro. Yeah. I need you to show some muscle, show some like braveness, show some courage. Show your teammates that you want to win. Like, you just got paid all that money. I want you to dog out. Like, I don't want my leader being Jalen Hurts, a quiet person sitting on the sidelines who doesn't say shit but just goes and gets his own job done. I don't want that as a leader, especially in baseball. Like you need a lot of vocalness in baseball. Like you need a Bryce Harper type attitude for your team to rally behind. Like that's important in baseball because you can get lazy, you can stop hitting as good, but you need somebody to drive you up. Like Shohei needs to drive his players up, and I think his interpreter was holding him back. That's my opinion. I say we move on to some of the winners of these divisions that I think should happen. How about that?
Yeah, like more. We'll find out more in the coming days and weeks, and with opening day tomorrow, I think he's ready to put that behind him.
Yeah,
and I think he's ready to rock out this season, especially knowing that he can't pitch. He's going to be taking all his frustration out on that bat. He's going to rock out this season.
I believe it. I'm a big Shohei fan. I mean, do I wish he went to the Yankees? Yes, but unfortunately, he's on Germ's team. So we're gonna start with the American League East. Who do you think will take it this year for them?
Yeah, so just to preface kind of like our picks for this year, I want to say like how they finished last year. So last year was the Orioles, the Rays, the Blue Jays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox, with the Orioles being a 100-win team. Mm-hmm. This year, I think the Orioles are going to continue building on what they've built on. I haven't really gotten a chance to see all the movement with the key additions and the key losses, but I feel like who the key players there are. And
they're young, too.
And they're very young, and they're going to keep growing. They're not even near their prime. This isn't even their final form type bullshit yet. Mm-hmm. So I think the Orioles are going to go back-to-back. They're going to win that division again. And second, I got the Blue Jays. I think they're going to come back this year very strong. Vladdy and Bo and all them boys up there in the north, they're going to come back strong. Then I got the Yankees in third. I think it's going to take an adjustment period, and then I believe between that and injury here or there, maybe Soto's not batting too well, or Judge isn't batting too well, and it doesn't align well, I can see them having some skid, but I think they're going to play a lot better than last year, and I could see them being much closer to second than they are fourth. In fourth and fifth, I got the Red Sox and the Rays. Rays aren't going to come out and have a 29-3 start to their season, whatever they had last. They're not having that again this year. They lost a lot of pieces to that team. They don't have the same aura around that team. I have them in last, and I just think the Red Sox are going to be a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Not that much. I think they'll be closer to you guys than they will be to the Rays. So I think that 2, 3, 4, that can fluctuate at. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
For me, I'm going to take the Yankees winning the division. I mean, you definitely saw that coming. I am not letting my boys down. I mean, you say you don't know what's going to happen with Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. I disagree. I think that Juan Soto is going to win MVP with 40-plus home runs. I'm just very confident in their ability. I think that Garrett Cole, thank God he did not get a Tommy John surgery. That's huge. Nestor Cortez is opening day. Love it. Love it over Marcus Stroman. Please put him in over there. But Yankees just love me some Nestor. Love me some Nestor.
They love that nasty Nestor, man.
Moving on, I think the Orioles take it. Do I think it's going to be very close? Yes, the Orioles are a great team, so I can see them in first, but I think Yankees take it overall. Orioles in second, and I think I'm going to go the Rays in third. The Rays are just always there. They're just always there. So I'm confident that third would be fine for them. Fourth, Blue Jays. Yeah, there's not much to talk about in the bottom of this division, even though this division is very hard. Blue Jays go, and then the Red Sox last. The Red Sox are just a terrible organization right now. I just hate them so much, and I just do not think that they're going to even put up a competition in this division. American League Central.
Yeah, it's also hard too, like with the AL East, as you said, it's like one of the better divisions. So it's like when we say a team is like gonna be first, like the difference between first and last in this division could very well be like 13 games.
Yeah,
and that's very tight. So it's like it can go any which way. Like as you said, the Red Sox, they're not being run the best way right now, but they still have a load of talent on their team that can go out and still win them games. And like with the Rays as well, like it's the other way around. Like they're org that like they've been doing their thing and they've been like getting these pieces on that team, and the pieces been performing well. But it's just like I don't see it. So, but at the same time, like you never know what could happen. Like, that's gonna be a tight race in my opinion.
Yeah, American League Central. I think we can just kind of run through this one quick. Honestly, we don't really have to talk too much about them. I think that the Twins are taking first. I mean, I don't know why. Like, I just like the Twins. The Tigers could also, I think, but I'm taking Twins to go first. I'm taking second Tigers, even though the Guardians kind of like I kind of want to put there, but I'm going to go Tigers for this one. Guardians third. And this is hard. I'm probably going to go Royals then White Sox. That's what I think my division will be for them. How about you?
So how it was last year? It was Twins, Tigers, Guardians, White Sox, Royals. I think this year, I think the Guardians got it. Then the Twins, Tigers, Royals, and White Sox. This is overall a very weak division. This is probably the weakest division in my opinion.
Very weak.
Yeah, I think this is the weakest division in my opinion, and it's usually a race between the Twins and the Guardians every year. With like every like 5 years, like the Royals will have a good team or something like that. But yeah, this is typically a division I don't really pay much attention to. Don't really watch that much.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
Like, but the talent that both the Twins and Guardians have, I'm a fan of. I like the talent on both teams, and the Tigers are showing glimpses of what they can be with the talent on that team. I don't think they're there yet with the Tigers. They'll probably have a bad season, but yeah, I think it's Guardians.
Nice. Moving on, American League West. I have such a love-hate with this division because I absolutely hate the Astros, but I absolutely love the Rangers. I'm going to be taking the Rangers, taking the division from the Astros. It's going to be a tight race. Do I think it could happen just like last year where the Astros have the division in their hands and then the Rangers also like just start fighting back? I think that could happen again. Rangers are taking it from me. Astros are taking me in second. I'm probably going Mariners 3, and then the last two I think are easy pickings, the Angels, A's.
Yeah, how it was last year, as you said, it was Astros, Rangers, Mariners, and then Angels, A's. Like we don't even we don't need a bad
doesn't
thought
even
about
matter.
that. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Maybe Mike Trout gets traded this year. Maybe we see that happen.
Maybe he goes to Philly.
Maybe he goes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Back home, like around that South Jersey area, Philly, New York. Who knows? But here, I think the Mariners break through this year. I think the Mariners break through. I think J-Rod has.
I mean, I love their team.
I think J-Rod has an MVP
Type season.
Solidifies himself as an MVP candidate, top 5 in that respect. Luis Castillo comes out, does his thing, goes crazy. In second, I'm gonna have the bad guys there. You know, they just seem like that team they're starting to really piss me off. Like they're starting to become a team that's
They're the
kind of
biggest
like
dynasty.
They're kind of timeless
right
now.
now.
They've been doing this since 2016, 2017 at the very minimum, and that's like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
They're still doing it with a lot of their core intact for some reason, and they just are able to add guys like young guys like Peña and still be able to compete, and it's getting me tight. But you know, they're a good team, and I got to tip my hat off to them. They're not cheating as much as they used to. They still cheating though. I know they're definitely cheating.
They have to be cheating,
and they probably take it super serious. That's probably how they cheating now. But yeah, I got the Astros second, Rangers third. I feel like they're gonna have a little bit of that championship hangover. Not really know how to deal with it as well as other teams that have won it in the past. But yeah, I think they're gonna have a stronger second half to the season and better postseason. I just don't think they're gonna have a good start to the season.
Yeah. So what was last year for the National League East? Let's start.
Yeah, so let's start with the NL. Moving on to the NL East. Last year we had the Braves, Phillies, Marlins, Mets, and Nationals. And the Braves for the past 2 years now have been a 100-win team. I think that continues. That continues.
100%.
They're built like the best team in baseball. They're built. I'm not saying they are because they definitely not. I hate them.
Yeah.
The Braves are one of the most complete teams in baseball. I think they're going to have another 100-win season. Got the Braves in first. Now, 2 years ago, this was also another 100-win team, but last year they were kind of, shot out of the mud before the season even started because their best player tore his ACL in the WBC and Edwin Diaz. So in second, I got the Mets. I think they come back. They got healthier. They should be very, very, very hungry. They should be starving right now.
They should
in that
be.
division, and I think they're gonna make a lot of heads turn this year. And third, I got the Marlins. I think the Marlins are building
on what they've had last year. They've added some pieces. I think they got Tim Anderson now, which I mean, it's whatever. It's above average ad, but like I like that. Jazz got to keep improving, keep being that cornerstone piece of that franchise.
He's one of my favorite players to watch.
He's so saucy. I love Jazz Chisholm. I love Jazz Chisholm. And then like Luis Arias, he had an amazing season last year. I think he's gonna keep coming out and keep smacking that ball. I got them in third. In fourth, I got the Phillies.
Shooting them down low.
I just think they. I don't know, because like last year, I thought, I made that prediction that the Padres would make that run. They didn't. And turn, the Phillies made a crazy run. And I just feel like they're a team that just makes runs. They're a team of runs. And how long does that? That's kind of like, to me in basketball, like the Heat. Like they're a team that, they're whatever, but then they just are able to go on these runs all the time. And it's like, how long is that sustainable for? So I don't think it's that much more sustainable. A lot of their core is getting a lot older. They're now 2 years away, 2 years removed from that World Series run, so they're a lot older. And then in last, I got the Nationals. They're just the Nationals.
They're pooter.
Yeah, they're the Nationals.
For me, like you said, 100-win team. Braves take the cake, 100% at 1. There's no argument for that. And then I'm gonna go Phillies 2. I totally disagree with you on this one. Honestly, I think that they're gonna have it together. They have to start off hot. They can't come in like slow. I think
last year.
Yeah, but they have to continue it. And like you said, it's a game of runs. It's gonna be hard to continue. They got to stay healthy.
And they got to stay on pace too.
Yeah, they got to stay on
the Braves and the Mets.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's gonna be difficult for them. Hopefully they can pull it off. I mean, being from Philadelphia, it is fun to see when they're doing well, because it's fun to be in Philly instead of everyone mope around and be pissed off all the time. That's not fun. Yeah. Mets, I like them at 3. Like you said, Edwin Diaz, and also just, can they just win? Like at any point, can they just win? Like I just want to like it's fun when New York baseball is good. Like it's fun when both teams are good. Like that's
when the big cities
fact.
are good. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's a fun season. So I want to see them at 3. 2 would be fun, but I think the Phillies take that. Next, Marlins, like you said, Jazz. That's all I got to say on that matter. Next, Nationals. They suck.
And then this is like I know East 2 is like another one of those top divisions where it's like I can see 2, 3, and 4 being 5 games within one another.
Yeah, it's gonna be close.
But I definitely see the Braves at the top and the Nationals at the bottom.
Moving on, National League Central. Germ, how did it look last year?
So in first we had the Brewers, followed by the Cubs, Reds, Pirates, and the Cardinals. This year I got the Cubs, Reds, Brewers, Cardinals, and Pirates. The Cubs, they went on a great second half run last year. They made a lot of trade deadline moves, and they're if I'm not mistaken, they still have a lot of those guys on that roster. So I think they're gonna come in and have a great year. Justin Steele had a phenomenal year for them last year. I'm sure he's their ace this year, and he's gonna go crazy. Second, the Reds, they were one of our most favorite teams to just watch and bet on last year. Like
I just love them.
Like Ali is a top 5 most fun, top 3, top 1 most fun player to watch in baseball. He's
my favorite.
He's
next
so
to Jazz.
electric.
Him and Jazz are my favorite.
Him, Jazz, and Shohei are my top 3 to watch.
They're so fun.
They are so like he's so electric. He makes that team so much fun to watch. And of course, I'm just blanking on names today, but like they have a fun lineup. They have fun guys. They're young. They're on the younger side, so their gripe is going to be in pitching. So I feel like that can kind of make them fall lower. But I think if everything goes well for them, I think they come in second. Brew Crew, I've never been I'm just not a believer in them. I'm like, all right, they're going to come in 3rd or 4th this year, and then
Christian Yelich is a bum.
Nah, he's not a bum. Yelly is not a bum. Nah, I can't. I got to give him his respect. He's a dog.
He hasn't done anything, but he's definitely not a bum. He hasn't done anything with that team. He was supposed to be way better. He was supposed to be a version of like an Aaron Judge.
The bellies.
He was supposed to be that good. He's not a bum, but he was supposed to be that good, and he didn't end up that good. So
he just plays for the Brewers.
Yeah, he plays for a terrible team.
But they're
a terrible organization, terrible city.
But they're also a perennial playoff team too. Like they just always make the playoffs.
Yeah, but who cares?
It's just like they don't do anything.
I don't care about that.
But then after that, Cardinals, Pirates. I'm gonna be watching a lot of these Cardinals games, especially during the beginning of the season. You already know.
Yeah, it seems weird that they came in last in that division last year. But, the very injured team, older. Wayno's done now. So I feel like this team is going into a new era, trying to get a new identity. And, they're just going to be going out there and playing ball. Whether it's good ball or bad ball, they're going to be out there. Yeah, they're going to be out there. And then Pirates going to be pirating.
Pirates, if they don't call it Paul Skeens, they're cooked.
Yeah, you already know
So
about them.
for me, we're going Cubs first. I mean, just a solid team overall. They know how to get wins. 2, I got to shout out the Cardinals. I mean, the first guest we ever had on Having Juice with OJ was Mike Ciani. He is now on the St. Louis Cardinals, and he is starting, or he's on the roster for opening day. So shout out Mike Ciani for making it there. That is so hype. I'm so hyped for you, bro. Go ball out. Show them why you should stay up in the big leagues because you're a baller. So I'm taking them as the 2 seed. 3 seed, Reds. Do I think the Cardinals and Reds could flip-flop? Probably, maybe. But I like the Reds. I mean, like you said, Ellie, he's so fast, so good, so strong. I just love watching him, so I'm excited to keep watching him cook. Next, Brew Crew. Easy to say. This is just like the bottom part of some of these like standings and divisions are just terrible to me. They're no fun. The Brew Crew will take them at 4, and then 5, the Pirates. They can go either way. Both those though. The 4 and 5 can go either way because they both suck.
I feel like the 2 through 5 can just go anywhere. I just feel like
for this division, for this
Cubs
division,
are up there. I feel like they should have it.
They should take it, but who knows?
Everybody else, but
yeah, it's like that's like the same division as like the Twins and such. Like they're the same thing. They're not going to do anything. And they're going to have like 85 wins.
It's the small market divisions.
Yeah, exactly. They're all going to be closer to 50-50 teams. Moving on, NL West, how did we look last year?
So last year, it was the Dodgers, who also for the past 2 years have had 100-win seasons. The Diamondbacks, the Padres, the Giants, and the Rockies. This year, again, I think, we continue regular season dominance, have 100-plus win season. For the Dodgers, it's just all about the playoffs, and we don't got to get into that because it's just regular season stuff. So I got the Dodgers. The Giants in second. I kind of like last year was kind of relieved, like, oh, we don't really have to worry about, that the monkey on our back, the Giants. I hate that team. But now they got
They're
Blake
like a
Snell.
Houston Astros to me.
Yeah, but now they got Blake Snell, which he's been moving around a lot, but he's still a good pitcher in this league.
He's very good.
And that team, I feel like he's going to have a pretty good year with them. They're going to have a bounce-back year. The D-backs, they just went on that World Series run. They're going to be hungry for more. That young boy, Corbin Carroll, he's also an amazing player to watch. He's in probably my top 5 players. We got to make a list of, like, most fun players to watch. Like, that's going to be so much fun to make. But, yeah, that's another team. They brought back a lot of their guys, and they're just going to keep making a run. The Padres, they just lost Juan Soto. Who knows what's going to happen with Fernando? Is he going to come in and ball out this season, or is he going to be on some bullshit again? Like,
Yeah.
That team they had all the potential in the world to be a World Series team. Then they lost to the Phillies, and we haven't heard from them since.
Yep.
And then the Rockies, they haven't been doing shit for the past however long, and they could just stay not doing shit. It don't matter to me. Like,
for me, this is the last division too. We've got, for me, the Dodgers. I mean, that's easy. To me, the 2 best teams in baseball are the Braves and the Dodgers. So I think that they take it 100%. I'm going to have the Diamondbacks at 2. I mean, yeah, the Giants are always creeping in there, but I think the Diamondbacks just, they have it. They have what it takes to take over that 2 spot in this division, which is going to be a dogfight because just like some of the other ones, this could be a 3 to 4 game difference of being in second or third, even maybe first.
Yeah, no, or first. I think
so.
That's
Like
how close it's going to be.
This is going to be a very close division. This is tied with the other best division with the Yankees and all them. Like that. This I would say that these 2 divisions are the best divisions. Maybe just to watch too. They're my 2 favorite to watch. Yeah. And Diamondbacks. Padres, they're not going to be third. We're taking the Giants. I mean, like I said, they're just so annoying. Blake Snell, them getting Blake Snell just makes me mad.
It's like a perfect match to me.
Just-
It's like I hate
it makes me
playing
mad
against him, and
yeah.
I hate playing against them. It's just
Yeah, so it just makes sense why he's there. And then we've got the Padres coming at 4. They're just in shambles. I mean, if I'm Tatis, I'm getting out of there, and I'm going to try to start fresh. That would be the only way that his career gets revived. Moving on, Rockies, dead last. Always. So you heard it here. Those are our predictions for the MLB year.
opening day tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be fun to watch. I think this season, barring injuries, because obviously you play 181 games a year, you're bound to get hurt at a point or another. But I think this season is gonna have a lot in store. Kind of how like the NBA with the parodies come back, and the NFL with, the NFL was just crazy with injuries, but like, it's gonna be any given Sunday. It's gonna be any given day for baseball. It's gonna be crazy this year. It's gonna be so much fun.
I'm really, really praying that injuries do not take that big of a toll on some of these big market teams, because like I said, big market teams means great baseball. So thank you guys so much for staying and tuning in with us. Like, comment, subscribe below, and check out our Instagrams too. We'll comment them in the description. Thank you so much. Peace out.
Gamble with your life.